Welcome to FLUX, a decentralized borrowing protocol where you can mint FUSD, our stablecoin, by borrowing it against your crypto collateral. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that. First, our journey starts by connecting a Radix wallet. We do so in the top right corner by clicking Connect Now. So we'll send a request to the wallet where we select a persona and then can select any account, even multiple. Let me select two of them just to show you how that works. Alright, so now we've selected multiple accounts. We can select which account to use in the top right corner. Let's go with FLUX test. To start borrowing, we need to head over to the borrow page. Here the process begins by selecting a collateral asset. You can choose either LSU LP or XRD right now. Let's choose XRD. The amount of FUSD that you can then borrow against your collateral depends on the collateral that you choose. Each collateral has a different max LTV or loan to value ratio. This is the maximum portion of your collateral's value that you can borrow. So with the max LTV of 66.67% like XRDs, with $100 worth of XRD we can borrow around 66 FUSD. Alright, let's say we pick 50,000 XRD to borrow with, because I think this is a nice amount. We can then go over to the next section and choose how much we want to borrow against this collateral. Remember, the loan always needs to be over collateralized. And the higher the loan amount relative to your collateral, the higher your LTV and the higher your risk of liquidation. So it would be a bit risky to choose to borrow a lot. There are three preset options over here for various risks that you might want to take on. These use preset loan to value ratios. However, let's just pick our own amount of debt and say we want to borrow 150 FUSD. This is a medium liquidation risk, as you can see here. I think that's all right. And we can also see the loan to value ratio and the liquidation price. The liquidation price shows you the price of your collateral at which your loan could be liquidated at. So if XRD hits 0.0045 cents, our current loan could be liquidated. This liquidation price might change over time once interest accrues, because your debt will also increase. So this is important to keep in mind. Also important to keep in mind is that you always need to know that you're borrowing at your own risk. So make sure you understand there are risks that come with borrowing like this. Please understand those. Finally, we need to pick an interest rate. Once selected, you'll see exactly how much interest you'll pay. And you'll also see your redemption risk. Currently it says medium redemption risk. So how do redemptions work? If someone comes to the protocol and redeems FUSD, a loan is chosen to redeem from, and the loans with the lowest interest rates are chosen first. What happens if someone redeems your loan or redeems FUSD using your loan is that they pay off your debt and they take an equal amount of your collateral. This action is value neutral for you, but it's not ideal because it might interfere with any strategies that you are using at the moment. For instance, leveraging your collateral. So please pick an interest rate to have a redemption risk that is acceptable for you. And remember, lowest interest rates are redeemed first. You can see over here how much FUSD will be redeemed before your loan can be redeemed. I think a medium redemption risk is alright, so we can go ahead with this. If you want to learn more about redemptions, you can read this little info widget, and you can even click here to learn even more by going to the documentation. Let's click next to see an overview of our loan or our prospective loan. As you can see, we will not borrow exactly the 150 FUSD that I selected to be my debt, because you will pay a very small borrow fee. The higher interest you choose, the higher your borrow fee will be. If we're satisfied with this loan, we can click the Confirm Borrow button. This will send the transaction to our wallet, where we can sign it. As you can see, the details match. We will be receiving a FLUX generator NFT as well. We can use this to manage our loan after it has been taken out. So let's slide this transaction to sign it. And let's wait for it to complete. Complete. All right. So we've now taken out our first loan through FLUX. Yay. If we now want to manage it, we go back to the dashboard and we'll see that our loan has appeared over here. FLUX generator 32. If we want to change any of these details, we click the loan, and here you can see a small overview of our loan and our risks, and we can, for instance, deposit even more collateral into the FLUX generator, or repay a small amount of debt, or borrow even more from our FLUX generator. We see that we have a medium liquidation risk right now, and maybe we would want to lower this liquidation risk. We could do so by adding some collateral, or even repaying any debt. In the bottom, an overview of any changes that you've made here will be shown. And if we're satisfied with these, we can choose to change our loan. You can see our liquidation risk has turned to low. I'm happy with that, so change our loan we will. So we'll send another transaction to the wallet, and you can see some assets will be leaving our account. That's all right with me. Let's slide to sign. And transaction has completed. All right, great. Now there's two more tabs. For instance, we can change our interest rate. You can see if we change it to low, for instance, or to this amount, 67.1%, we see our redemption rate turns low, and there's a whole lot more FUSD to be redeemed before us. Let's not do this now because it will incur a small fee, because we haven't updated, or we have updated our interest rate previously in this week, and if you have updated your interest rate in the last 7 days, you will have to pay a small fee. We can also choose to close our loan. As you can see, we would have to pay off our entire debt to reclaim our collateral. So let's do this just to show you and complete the life cycle of this loan. Another transaction will be sent to our wallet, and we can see some FUSD is leaving our wallet because we are using it to close the loan, and we will be receiving some XRD that was inside of the FLUX generator. Let's slide to sign. And wait for the transaction to complete. It has been completed, and now we're sent back to the dashboard, and we can see that we have no open positions left. All right. That concludes the entire life cycle of a loan, a FLUX generator, and you can now borrow FUSD and manage your generator through the dashboard. Remember to always borrow responsibly and make sure you understand the risks and then have a lot of fun with it. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys around in the FLUX ecosystem, maybe even the LSDAO ecosystem. Goodbye.